Now welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we are on board, I think, a very special plane, and of course that is the A340. Yes, the lovely A340, a plane that came out almost 30 years ago now. It's actually having its 30th anniversary of first flight this year, and we're of course going to celebrate that. Actually next month, isn't it? Great. Oh wow, it's already September. I haven't noticed that already about this year. Holy moly. And yes, this is one of the more controversial planes that Airbus has ever done. Yes, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people very much like it too, though, for quite a few reasons. First of all, yes, we've talked about this a lot. This plane is not particularly successful. Only 380 of these were built, which for planes isn't really much at all. I mean, just comparing that to the A330, which is kind of like A340's better brother with two engines and more fuel efficiency, which actually came out at the same time, right? It was built 1,500 times. And so I sometimes feel a little bit bad about the A340s. Maybe it's jealous of the A330s. What am I saying? Jesus Christ. Watch this video. Yeah, this plane isn't all too perfect. Honestly, though, I still like it, though. I mean, just starting off here with this absolutely beautiful tilted landing gear, which makes landings look absolutely smooth. Even though that actually is kind of so unimportant of a feature from a plane, right? I mean, it doesn't look nice on landings, and it actually does kind of make landings much smoother, kind of making comfort better for the passengers. In general, the A340 should be quite a comfortable plane, right? It's actually very quiet of a plane. Anyway, this plane on paper is kind of a failure, yeah, and that's of course because of the 4 engines that it has. It's just they eat a lot of fuel, obviously. I mean, it's not only fuel, but also the maintenance of these engines, right, is going to cost a whole lot more. Twice as much, because you have twice as many engines as the A330, you know what I mean? And so this plane was kind of doomed to fail. But let's come in for a nice landing, make it smooth, to demonstrate what this A340 really can do in the landing part. Okay, you know what, that's not even that smooth. So let me get this plane stopped. And this is where we get to the little pet peeve that this plane has. And it's got especially also to do with runway performance per se, right? Actually, this landing worked out somewhat barely. Here's literally where the runway officially ends. That's been okay. But this is one of the main flaws that the critics have been pointing out. And yes, it's the power of this plane. This plane is considered underpowered. Yeah. Let's see this landing though. I mean, come on, just look how that touchdown looks. I think that makes up for it, totally. There's a few jokes about this plane, for example, that these are not really engines, but hair dryer fans, you know what I mean? I'm not doing the joke very properly, am I? The German saying says that the A340 is only able to take off because the Earth is round. But I don't believe that's true, or something like that. This plane is a little known for struggling with takeoffs sometimes. Yeah. Let's maybe try taking out from this 1,200 meter long runway of Le Mans Airport here in the south of France. The thing is, this is not even that short of a runway. I've been able to fly A380s here. I'm not quite sure about the A340. Yeah, even though actually this is powering up quite well. Come on, I mean, this is a big bird as well, or something like that. Come on, plane. You can do it, plane. Yes. Full. I mean, that somehow worked, actually. We were live or something. Maybe some landing gear maintenance is needed now, but there we go. Yeah, the A340 was definitely not built as a climber, to put it that way. It's definitely not something like the 757, which has crazy performance. This plane is more of a cruiser. That's how actually pilots would put it. I mean, the thing is, YouTube is just absolutely loaded with A340s just struggling to take off. Here's another A340, A340-300 now. Yeah, it doesn't really want to. It doesn't really look like it wants to really fly, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's another one. Kind of some sluggishness that we actually do see here, indeed. Yeah, comment could kind of reflect what people are saying about this plane. Engineering miracle, flying with 5 APUs. That's so, that's such an Airbus thing. This plane has like 5 auxiliary power units, right? But 4 engines that are absolutely underpowered. Great. I mean, the plane is nice though. Come on, I keep defending it, you know? You know, the A340 is also very much known as a near tail striker, because, yeah, doesn't really want to go off the ground sometimes. We could also see that here at Le Mans Airport. Trouble during takeoff. Swiss Airbus. Why is Swiss Airlines getting so much attention in this video? Jesus Christ. I mean, they are a good operator of the A340, which makes, of course, them a better airline. Anyway, so here we have a takeoff here from, I think this is an American airport or something like that. Takeoff, there we go. Rotation. Oh, the plane comes down again. No problem at all. I mean, this is just the A340 sometimes a little bit. It has its own way. It's unique of a plane. Yeah. I mean, on a serious note, though, this performance issue can really become a problem, especially if you're trying to operate at, like, high altitudes and warm weather, right? Yeah, because high altitude airports do exist, like this Telluride airport. Now, I doubt that you would ever be able to see, like, a A340 fly at Telluride airport, but, I mean, this has actually got a long runway. This is a commercial runway. Actual planes fly here. So why would not the A340? Well, it makes sense because this airport is actually at a very high elevation, of course. We are at, right now at 9,000 feet. Air is very thin at 9,000 feet. This plane up here is going to lack a lot of performance. Yeah, performance that it doesn't really have in the first place. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Also, let's give it some weather in here. Let's give it a little bit of warm weather. Let's go ahead and challenge this aircraft. Atmospheric conditions. Here we go. Right now it is 30 degrees Celsius, which is quite high up here in the mountains. So, you know what? Let's just give this a chance right here. A340, full power takeoff. Come on. Good. Now it's time to actually prove all those haters of the A340 wrong. You know, that it's not underpowered. It's just... it's not overpowered either, to put it that way. So that's good. That's good. Because no one wants an overpowered plane. Actually, everyone wants an overpowered plane. Never mind. Here we go. Full power. There we go. Yes. Come on. Take off. Nice, and that was not even a tail strike. Nothing needed here at Telluride Airport. I'm very proud of this airplane right now. I mean, you know, we can take a little bit of a look into the numbers. Is this plane even on paper underpowered? Let's find out. So most of these A340s are actually running the CFM56, right? And they have a power of up to 151 kilonewton. That is per engine, right? So in total that makes 604 kilonewton. For example, let's compare this to a little bit of a different engine, the GE90, for example, which is running on the 777. We all love the GE90. Now that one has up to 510 kilonewton, which it's a bit of a difference in power indeed. So yeah, maybe the A340 on paper even is underpowered. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night.
Now thank you to my members here on YouTube like Block, Emite, Mubarak, Mike, Ethan, Darren, Stefan, Ian, Oman the Human, Rafael Burkowski, Junk in the Trunk, Moritz, Toby, Great Grandpa John, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, New York, Tyler Park, Cheese Doritos, Shadow, Anime Planes 001, X-Men Show, Laird Deslama, Featuring Kellen, Me By You, Captain Cameron, Spiro, Gary, Norwegian, Bajel, and Parology.